Thank you, Reverend Jackie, and thank you to Middle Church for having me in honor of Trans Day of Visibility. I wanted to begin this morning by expressing my gratitude to all of the trans and gender nonconforming people here with us today and listening there at home. You are an everyday miracle. Thank you so much for blessing this often cruel and utterly unchic world with your divine and transcendent beauty. Whenever I'm feeling despair, I see you and I remember that despite everything that has tried to render us impossible, we are still here. We are part of something so much greater than ourselves, an unbroken, sacred chain of truth-tellers and mystics who had the courage to sing a different tune, a song that only love can hear, manifest and femifest ourselves against all odds. Thank you for blooming into the fullest and freest version of yourselves, for being so charitable and so kind to remind this world of lost souls that freedom and joy are our birthrights, to clarify the crucial distinction between living and merely existing. I am so deeply sorry that you are being scapegoated, punished, exiled because of other people's sins. Even more devastatingly, in the name of religion, there's nothing holy about hate. The reason we are targeted right now is not because we are a woeful, pathetically small minority. It is because we are magical and magnificent. We are ambassadors of autonomy who teach the world that our bodies only belong to us. We are proof that transformation is possible. We are embodied possibility in a stagnant society that masquerades the status quo as reality. So please, please do me a little favor. Stay around on this earth a little bit while longer. We need you here, and we love you so much. Can I please get a round of applause and a raucous cheer for all of the trans and gender nonconforming people who are here today? I want every trans person listening to remember the sound of this love. This is evidence of your belonging to this earth, to this country, and to this life. Please tune your hearts to its sweetness. Play it back on repeat. This community of faith has faith in you. We do not prepare sermons. Sermons prepare us. I came in with an idea of what I wanted to say today, but the words, they engaged in a bit of civil disobedience on my page. Blocked the traffic of my thoughts, redirected me elsewhere, back to you. When I write, I feel closest to God. It's where I feel the most approximate to awe. It's what Thomas Merton once called a practice of contemplation. I witness everyday miracles firsthand, see water turn to wine, metaphors make barren lands bloom, watch the judgment in me soften and melt into compassion. Ideas, words, phrases that I didn't know were in me surface and harmonize. When I write, faith is what buoys me through. Each sentence is a leap of it. I have no idea where it's going to take me. I just have to surrender and trust a greater knowing that I am merely a vessel for something much bigger than me. While writing this sermon, I received a master class in a truth I've always felt, but now feel able to name with you. Language, the very fact of it, is evidence of love. Humans invented language to connect with one another, to share experiences and knowledge so that we could have more cohesion, survive, and eventually thrive. In this way, language begins first as a testament to our love of one another. Language is here because we needed so desperately to blend our interiorities, bridge back to one another. Even before the written word, we had a spoken language, and the function of spoken language was to transmit knowledge, maintain social ties across time and space, bring us closer together. Hate speech, then, is not just a few words or phrases. It is a distortion of language itself. It is a rupture of the fundamental contract of language itself. There have been a slew of tragedies these past few months, but at the core of each one of them is a story of language being used against itself, becoming corrupted from its inherent sociality. Language is being used to malign and divide, to criminalize and demonize, and detain and deport. This is the antithesis of language, and this is the antithesis of love. Therefore, it's not enough to condemn hate speech. We must counter it with love speech. Why do we only have a framework for hate speech and not love speech? And what I wanted to do this afternoon was try to imagine what love speech could look like. I believe poetry is the closest art form we have to love speech. Poetry's purpose is to depollute language. Poetry is a palate cleanser for humanity. We write poems to cleanse and exfoliate words, retune them back to the frequency of love. We write poems to remember the truth. Here's a poem I wrote for you called I Am About to Do a New Thing. These days, happiness is a distant cousin. Existential terror, the place we keep being rerouted to. You see, the air traffic controllers are all gone, and so it seems is the hope. It's been playing hide and seek so well we can't seem to find it. Each headline, a new species of quicksand. Who knew it was possible to drown above surface? So many think pieces and hot takes, all of them feel like gasping for air. Each and every weather reporter practicing how to pronounce cynicism backstage before the evening forecast. The grief and the recession grow together like conjoined tumors, a melancholy so ripe it's malignant, but the grants to research it, they are gone too. So instead we pretend it's not there. Turns out there are few things more patriotic these days than playing pretend, that the neighbor down the street, the one who said hello that one time, is no longer there, and we didn't even get the chance to say goodbye. I had a friend ask me how I was doing, and I responded with what I was doing instead. Lately, I've been too afraid to feel. I've become a biography reduced to a laundry list of motions, like a body collapsed to a series of functions, as if all a heart can do is pump blood. Thoughts compress so tight within me, there is no room to feel it. That haunting suspicion that everything beautiful was just method acting, that humanity was one sad, cruel joke. As a comic, I've been telling jokes across this country, both of us, me and this country, making the rounds with our own dark comedy. Congress has become the most coveted comedy club in town. That place where the right seeks the right to not have to see trans people. And for some reason, there are no hecklers. The consensus is that we are to blame for everything, with our mythological powers to single-handedly raise the price of eggs and live. And it is in this bleakness and the desperate yawn of its maw that I feel a stirring in me, a calling for a different way to be. I am about to do a new thing. Take the spit on my cheeks as a baptism on the street. See the holiness in the harassers, even though they don't see it in themselves. Take the slurs and slow them down until they hum like a sermon. Swap spots with the NASA astronauts who just came down, beam my own way up. Look at the earth from way up high, see a blemish the shape of America. Say, I love you, and believe that, even without air, that sound will reach you, hit deeper than a tariff. The pundits will say that I am preaching nonsense, that now is a time for pragmatism, not idealism. How could you love the people who hate you? That makes no sense, they will say. And they are correct. It makes no sense, I mean the money kind. In a world where many learned how to do division in math class and then just kept going. But that is not my world. I am about to do a new thing. Go somewhere else. I'm going to love that holy land we all come from. Won't you join me? They say a pilgrimage is a journey to a holy place. Some go through great lengths to reach hallowed grounds. But I found a spiritual site closer to home, an inner sanctum right here within me. It's called love. I have learned that one of the most sacred pilgrimages we can take is to cross the chasm from the mind to the heart. Even though the average distance between the brain and the heart is roughly 18 inches, I have never known such a great length. It has taken me a lifetime to cross it, but I come to you winded and weary and full of wonder to say, I am about to do a new thing. Take the pilgrimage from boy to non-binary and then keep going, from judgment to love, from fear to faith, from I to we. Say, I love the people who hate me more than they could ever hate me, because they are not my enemy. Hatred is. Thank you so much.
Take the journey from our head to our heart, from boy to you, from hate to love. Wow. Thank you. How do you love so hard? How do you do that?
I've come to the conclusion that trans people represent some of the most robust spiritual leadership alive. What is transness but a practice of saying out loud and in public, I have faith in something you don't see yet. I have a knowing in me that is deep and felt, and you will spend your entire life trying to disprove this thing that I know precious and vital within me. And in fact, you'll try to kill me for it. this belief in my divinity, this practice of my sacredness. And yet trans people make that revolutionary choice to continue showing up, which is the ultimate form of love and mercy. And the way that we do that is because we have to go through our own internal baptism, cry so many tears to realize that actually everything we were taught was wrong and pathological and broken. That's our godliness. And we have to learn how to love our woundedness, love our brokenness, love our pathology, love our idiosyncrasy, love our dysphoria, love our inadequacy, love our contradiction. And then when we do that work, which is what transition is, love work, a new thing, we unlock the capacity to love everyone. So the work first begins in the living love poem that is trans life. We found a way to believe in faith and have conviction in it in a world that would pathologize us for it. And we saw that impossible things happen every day because we're alive. And so we look at the world and we see hatred as a visitor, an occupying force. It's not who we are. What I was trying to say in that poem is that we have so much proof in our bodies, in language, that our intrinsic relationship with one another is community. And so hatred is a betrayal of that fundamental contract. So what it means to speak love speech is to return to the purpose of language, is to actually speak in a way that insists that love is the only path forward.
Beautiful. One of the psychologists that I studied called prayer primary speech. But love is primary speech, right? Before language, before we can talk, there's a connection, baby to warm breast or warm milk, little hand holding finger, all of those ways that we connect with one another before we can talk is primary speech. And you said, Alok, that the words, I'm going to totally blow this, so let me paraphrase freely, but this way that the connective tissue that words are meant to give us have been bastardized, stripped, maligned, become malignant in the place of hate, right? Weaponized. So just maybe one more round on to how you feel poetry fix that. And all of us can't write poems, lots of us can. But what's the parallel track for those of us who are not as gifted as you with a pen?
Well, what I would say, Dr. Reverend,
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
is everyone can write a poem.
Can they?
Yes.
I think so.
Because what a poem is just saying the truth out loud.
Yeah.
And what poetry as a practice teaches us is that every rule is merely a suggestion, and that the fundamental accomplishment of a poem is to define your own standard of beauty. And so too is a life, actually. And so the secret I learned as a poet was I began writing poems and then I got bored of that, so I started living them. And what it means to live a poem is to view every rule as merely a suggestion.
Every rule is a suggestion. I love that.
To create my own grammar. To create my own grammar, to show my own syntax, to make the sovereignty of every line break, to recognize that every day is a creative act that I can choose for myself. And I think a lot of people are terrified by that potential freedom. And that's what I was saying, is that the threat of transness, right, is that we have taken so many things that people have relegated to scripture, a transcendental realm that they think is only available in the afterlife, and we've made that present now. We have said that the freedoms that they had foreclosed the possibility to are available to them now. We have insisted that joy is actually a precondition for life, and that fundamentally ruptures the system
Totally.
held together with misery.
One more thing, and this is every one of us, including me, F this up. It's like F it up. And I'm just thinking about the election season, ALOK, and how, the Democrats were like, y'all are making too big a deal about trans, and that's why we're losing, and whatever. And the kind of old people brokenness of, I don't understand the reason for the concern about pronouns. Can you feel me? Could you just say to us all why it matters in the place of freedom and just respect and love that we really work hard to know each other and name it correctly?
Well, I think the first problem was we didn't have our own Project 2025.
Amen.
The project has always been one of rebuttal and refusal, and not actually a reintroduction to a new world. But we've got to do a new thing.
Amen.
And I think that that's why trans people are casualties in any politics of respectability, is because within our very DNA is that new thing, is a suspension of an old world order and a pilgrimage to something new. And so the issue is we're going to keep on losing if we keep on speaking hate speech. The only way we can win is through love speech. And what speaking love speech out loud actually says is that we imagine a world in which everyone is afforded their inherent and infinite complexity. And that is a world that actually everyone will thrive in. It's a world that's going to take a long time to get to, 18 inches. But we can spend the rest of our lives committed to that journey of saying, I'm going to mess up, I'm not going to get it right, I'm going to flatten you, I'm going to iron out your creases, and then I'm going to return. The work is in the return. And saying, I'm committed to making a better world. But I think here's the truth. Many people are not committed to making a better world. Because I think the truth is many people only know themselves through shame, through misery, and through pain. So they've mistaken contortion as their natural posture. And when we actually bring a kind of emotional chiropractic to say it's time to crack and get into someplace new, people are afraid. The threat is not transness, the threat is something new. And I think that's what really spoke to me about that passage, is to really say, like, there has to be something new here. Everything in the world is inviting us in this moment to suspend the old rules and to actually give birth to something new. And whenever I'm feeling full of cynicism and despair, I spend time with trans people, and I see that these people have found ways to build gardens out of wounds, that we have found ways to actually imagine something new and beyond our wildest comprehension. How can I believe that we'll lose when I'm alive and when I'm around people who have been told their entire lives that they're not real, and then have such deep faith? That faith is such a gift. So I just hope that my Democratic colleagues can reframe transness as a burden to transness as a blessing, as an invitation to actually remember why we do this work. And we do this work not so that we can decorate misery, repurpose it, not so that we can overthrow one form of oppression with another, but so that we can be free.
I love you.
Thank you.
Okay, if you are trans, non-binary, if you are claiming that as your identity, would you come real quick? Because we could do this at the end of worship, but I want you to come now. Come now. Come now. Put your phone in Liz's hands. Come now. Because I think we want to visibilize. Like, I don't think we know. Look at your people. Look at your people. We love you so much. We just love you so much. We love you so much. And you are the best. Do you want to come work here? Okay.